Hello everyone, what's happening? I'm Gaff, the Master 974 today, giving you a Destiny 1 Prison of Elders solo guide. This time I'm covering the level 34 Cult of the Worm Arena, which is to defeat a boss called Gulrot. Forgot the name there for a second. And yeah, just without fucking around, let's get straight into the video. Now, one thing you'll notice right off the bat is this is a post commentary over the gameplay. So I'm actually rewatching the gameplay that I did right now and will be commentating over what I did to solo this arena. This is my Sunbreaker subclass. You can pause the video if you want to see what I have, and those are my weapons and armor setup. It's not really that important, to be honest. It's just using a couple of the raid guns and, you know, raid armor and stuff like that, which is pretty much all the raid stuff I have, to be honest. So we're going to get straight in with our video. I don't think there's anything in terms of weapons or armor pieces that you actually fundamentally need to get through this specific arena. Though one thing I would say, a weapon like the Red Death, fully upgraded, would be helpful later on. So if you have that, then you're good. If you don't, then take it easy. But that's later. So our first round is Vex, and players deal more damage when they are in the air. So the idea is we want to be in the air. Now I was checking if I had a helmet where if you aim down the sights with for the Titan at least, you can basically float in the air. That would technically classify as being up in the air, and you can just, you know, do more damage. So something that you'll notice as well about my gameplay is sometimes I'm doing what I'm doing now, which is being a bit dynamic and moving around to basically destroy the mines, which slow you down, which you don't need to do because this is the first round, and the first round doesn't have a critical objective, it's just kill enemies. But later it might help you out if you have to run around the map and deal with critical objectives. And other times you'll see me just like camping in a certain area. So that's mostly because you are doing this by yourself. So nothing too, you know, complicated here. It's just a matter of taking out the enemies, as you saw there. Managed to pull off a jump shot with a sniper to basically take out that Minotaur's shields. That's the sort of maneuvers you need to be able to pull off in this. Not aiming down the sights with a scout rifle, for instance, though you can do just fine against the small enemies without actually being up in the air. So not the end of the world. It should be relatively easy these first couple rounds or so. So obviously what happens with Prison of Elders is that the enemies get progressively more challenging to take out. So we have, you know, probably an extra Minotaur at the very end in round 3. But yeah, just staying up in the air is critical. For the grenade that I have, just jump in the air, it helps. And I think that Hobgoblin dropped a heavy ammo, but I don't know if I saw it or not. And yeah, I got screwed over by the mine, which is why I tried to run around and take out all the mines to begin with, so you don't actually have to, you know, deal with this. And I nearly get messed up here, so I'm just trying to like run away as best I can and not die because I just got like surrounded. But yeah, that's the thing. You gotta, you know, just be able to get out of a situation very quickly if you need to. And you are doing this by yourself, as I said, so you know, you don't have to do it by yourself. If you have 3 people to play with, and you can, and that was just bullshit. That was, I had the shot lined up and everything, and just someone hit me and it lost the tracking on the target, so that was nonsense. But yeah, if you have more people to play with, then that's better. But of course, if you're watching this video, then you're probably doing this by yourself, and it's not impossible to do this. I've done it once before, and in the description below what I'll do is I'll leave a link to the original playlist, where I did the level 32 versions of these arenas, except for a Valus arena, the Broken Legion. And that one I did when it was level 34 because I must have forgotten to do it during the time when I'd actually decided to do these Prison of Elders soloed videos. And so yeah, it's probably going to be a little later than usual to be able to do the videos that I want to be able to do, but I'll get to all of them eventually, and that's what matters, I guess, here. And I'm thinking about Scarlet's Revenge as well. That is a pain in the ass to do. You're talking 1 hour at least on the final boss fight because you need fucking luck on your side basically, which might happen in this recording, I don't know, or it could have happened in my own time because the other arena at this moment in time, at this recording, for this specific rotation where this arena is the level 34 version, is where you have the level 32 arena being the Machine Wrath, which is the Calyx Reborn arena. And so for that one, it's just a matter of the critical objective being diffuse mines, and if you're unlucky then by yourself there's no way you can do it. So I'll talk about that more when it's appropriate to do so. But seeing as we have mostly Hive, you know, it's a Hive oriented arena, so you should expect to face the Hive the most, just like with some of the other arenas. So it's not like we fight Vex, Hive, Cabal and Fallen and then a boss like regular Prison of Elders. It's like it could be the same wave, you know, 2 or 3 times in a row. So that's just something that you need to keep in mind when doing this. And I think all the enemies that you face and the critical objectives and the modifiers are exactly the same every single time you do it. So it's like it's almost like a preset, and every single time you'll do this arena it'll be these enemies in this order with these modifiers on. So it's helpful to, you know, just see the progression of things and have it documented somewhere, because it's not going to change. So probably the gameplay that you're seeing me do right right now is somewhat similar to what I was doing way back in like 2016 or something, when I was actually doing these videos at much lower power, by the way, and much lower light with worse weapons. So if you want to see a earlier perspective, well it's basically doing the earlier versions, just lower power versions, I should say, then you're more than welcome to check out my Stream Archives channel where I have the old videos of me going through these arenas. So just keeping an eye out for any ogres that might spawn in. I was just concerned if I was just going to stand in the middle there and I was just going to get mowed down by an ogre, but no, I don't think the ogres come just yet. So we have a critical objective where we have to kill an important target, and the important target is not coming out right now, so I'm just standing around waiting for the, you know, the hallowed knight to just basically come on out, and yeah, you can just mess him up like what I'm trying to do here. So unfortunately, because I used my flame punch earlier, I don't have a flame punch to use against him there to do more damage. But my strategy usually for doing Prison of Elders is, if you have a critical objective, then just do it regardless of what's going on, because if you don't do the critical objective then you're going to die. So don't care about the enemies, you know, worry about the enemies once the critical objective is dealt with. And that's something you'll see me do throughout these Prison of Elders videos, is I will prioritise the critical objectives over just killing enemies any day of the week. And it's become significant when you talk about Scarlet's Revenge and all that as well, so I just thought I'd point that out now. And I think another thing I should point out as well is that these bosses, these final bosses for these Prison of Elders arenas, do have some quirk to them, which makes it slightly more annoying or challenging than just regular Prison of Elders. So we'll cover what this arena's quirk is later. And Vaux was kind enough to gift me a Scorch Cannon. That's helpful against some of the golden health bar enemies that we have to deal with. So again, Hive Knight comes out, and I'm just shot him up with a Scorch Cannon, killed him in 2 hits. And of course now we've got a bunch of high power enemies. I ran right into a Curse 4, that's not a good thing. Run away. One thing you may have noticed about my loadout as well is that my recovery is not very good, so it's probably like the lowest recovery you can have, and I'm really getting my ass handed to me by some of these enemies. But you know, just trying to run away, not get hit, and I kind of wasted the Scorch Cannon ammo at the end. Sorry, I can't speak. But yeah, thank God for the Hazen Vengeance having 3 you know, rockets, and basically having the armamentarium to make it so you get more heavy ammo. I think that's the perk I have on that right now, so nothing wrong with having extra rockets. And I don't think if you have any extra sniper ammo buffs or anything, it's not going to increase how much icebreaker ammo you can have. So that was the second wave. Oh, second round rather, beating all the Hive waves there. So no, again, nothing too challenging. Again, I was mostly sticking to one area and moving around if I had to, because this is solo. If you had more people, you could spread around a bit more if you really wanted to. But in that case, the critical objective and the enemy that is related to that critical objective always comes out the same place. So it's very predictable. That's something as well I should say, is that sometimes these Prison of Elders arenas are very predictable. So you know what it is that you can do. Now, as you can see there, the modifier is Void Burn. So I am now changing my loadout to prioritise Void Burn by basically changing out to a Void Sniper and Rocket Launcher. And because fuck it reasons, I tried the No Time to Explain, I think I'll go with, which is something that I got when I was able to get through Vault of Glass one time, carry on the Lost to Light or Lost whatever that quest line is where you do the secret ending to Paradox, and I was stuck with having to beat Vault of Glass for a long time, believe me. But got through it one time, got the No Time to Explain out of it. It's essentially the unknown woman from, you know, year 1 Destiny that no one explained. Nothing in the game explained who that was. So whoever that was, yeah, it's essentially their weapon, just a year 3 variation of it. It's exactly the same thing, so you're not really missing out on, you know, if you can't get it, because it's just the same as a year 1 variation. So although it's exotic and it probably has some benefits, but I thought, you know, because it's Void Burn, the only things that do void damage are Hobgoblin grenades, as you see there, and Minotaur, you know, Minotaur attacks against you. But all the other enemies just do like solar damage. So again, you want to maximize that void damage that you can do while minimizing the amount of void damage that you take. And because Void Burn's on now, I will have to say a spoiler that one of the waves, one of the rounds, I guess, I keep calling them waves, one of the rounds in one of the other Prison of Elders arenas is so astronomically ass that it's probably, next to Skolas's Revenge, the worst round, sorry, that you could ever play in Prison of Elders. If you're doing it solo, then one round of one of the arenas is just complete shit. It's really bad. So I'll get to that later, because we don't need to deal with it now. But again, it's just a matter of avoiding enemy fire, taking them out as you do. It's nothing too bad, nothing too good either, but I tend to just like stick to one place, and then if I need to run away, find out where the enemies are, rinse and repeat. So it's nothing too bad. And also I think for this wave there's no critical objective. I just realised that, and I think that happened when I did the machine raft as well, because what I might do is do some of these arenas in my own time, and there's me figuring out where the hell the scorch cannon or the ammo is going to drop like a complete idiot, because I completely forgot where that was going to be. So here I try and just kill the minotaurs and harpies, but fail quite miserably at doing it. But they pose the biggest threat to you because they do void damage, or at least the minotaurs do, so you don't want to be messed up by them. Sorry, I really can't talk today. Oh, and it looks like the hobgoblins might have a void punch as well, so yeah, I just realised that while watching the video back just now. So yeah, nothing too much to worry about, ladies and gentlemen. You can get through this with relative ease like I just did. So now what that means is you can just pretty much revert to your old loadout because Void Burn is no longer active. So yeah, well, I think the point I was going to say about Machine Raft was, yeah, there's one wave there, or one round. I keep calling the rounds waves, I'm so sorry. One of the rounds has no critical objective when you do it, even though usually it would have a critical objective. I would not complain about that. The less work you have to do, the better. And I believe another one of the arenas has like 3 boss fights out of 5 rounds. So I thought this round would have been the worst one, like what I said earlier, but it isn't. So it was like a breath of fresh air for me. So this is the point where I revert back to my previous loadout of Icebreaker, Hazen Vengeance and the Vision of Confluence. I was also using a Continuum pin, probably from the Vault of Glass. Even though Destiny came out in like 2014 or something, they still have this little bug, I guess, or glitch or something, where you can actually just get into the Vault of Glass if you wanted to, you know, and it's nothing complicated. You just hop off your Sparrow and you could just get into the Vault of Glass, and it still works even with the 390 Lite version, and that quote unquote cheese method, if you will, of how to basically get into the Vault of Glass. Just yeah, you don't even need to play the phase properly to do it. So that helps for getting a tiny amount of raid gear, though it doesn't really help you out. Now, as you'll probably see, I am getting dismantled, and I'm trying to run down this like side bit towards the entrance. I'm just running against the wall, like, oh god, I'm so screwed, because look, there's golden health bar enemies and I'm not going to be able to kill them because I've got low health. So this is what I mean about trying to be a bit dynamic as well. So I just try and use a super, kill out some of the annoying enemies. Now that angry modifier's on, which means enemies are not going to flinch to damage. So I nearly died there, and I'm just like trying to run away and just get the hell out of there, because all the enemies are just like congregating on my ass at that point. So now I'm just like, okay, I've just got to get out of here. And for some reason there's just an acolyte or 2 back here, and it's like, what the hell are you guys doing back here? Get out of my camp spot. So I just take them out with incredibly bad accuracy. Now you can focus more on these enemies to hand right now. So yes, they are going to be the mages, but shouldn't be too difficult to take out in the area where I'm at right now. So that's all well and good. You'll probably see me generate orbs of light as well for seemingly no reason. That's probably the artifact I have. Destroy mines. And this is a pretty bad one as well, to destroy mines. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, as I said before, prioritise the critical objectives, and I use another super here just to clear out some of the enemies, mostly the high health bar enemies, and I'll try and run around. But as you can see, this is probably the best case scenario because the second mine hasn't spawned in yet, and it will spawn in soon, but the longer delay there is between the mine spawning, the better it is. All you have to do is just get to it. And as you see here, I have a bit of luck because what Icebreaker does when you have it fully upgraded, and this is the Icebreaker where you have to do the Nightfall Strike and get a gold medal achieved in a part-time. Took me a few attempts to do it, but got it in the end at 390 or 380 power or something like that this is. But yeah, you get ammo back, and I got Husk of the Pit as well, which is quite strange. This is also the 390 400 quest line to get Necrochasm in year 3. So kill a bunch of Hive enemies, eventually you'll get a Husk of the Pit, and it takes you into essentially doing Quota's End, but the 390 variation of it. So yeah, that's pretty much what we have to do there, but I've already done that with this character that I'm using, so no point in doing it again. So yeah, that's something. So yeah, if I didn't complete what I was saying before, Icebreaker has something where you get ammo back if it misses, but for some reason it thinks that hitting a mine is missing completely, so I don't know what that's all about. But again, because that other ogre spawned, I decided to go and use a super, and I just get my ass handed to me right there, because I should have the subclass perk where you're actually able to you know, like gain an overshield or something. And as you see, this is why I say you might need a bit of luck doing this, because that final mine just spawned right in, and I don't really have much of an opportunity to get over there and do it. And I got another Husk of the Pit, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not, I got 2 Husk of the Pits doing this arena, and it's like you're hard pushed to get 1, and I got fucking 2 in one game. So that's ridiculously shit, but I'm not complaining, but I should be complaining because I've already got it and I don't need it. So why the game gives you those drops when you don't need them, I don't know, but essentially that means I could do it for my Hunter and Warlock character if I really wanted to. So now I'm just getting my ass handed to me again. Can't aim with a sniper rifle, so... And I guess at this point, when I was thinking about doing this post commentary, I would say that moment right there where I just killed the knight is a good moment for that angry modifier being on, because that knight would just keep running at you and you can easily just get the headshot off on him, because they're not going to flinch and do the flame shield. So, and that other ogre was still alive, so just take his ass out and focus on the other enemies, and then you win. So quite challenging because you need to destroy mines and you need the firepower to do it, but should be okay to get through that. You just gotta watch your ass, make sure you use your supers, and hopefully you'll be a-okay. And you might get a Husk of the Pit out of it, which can lead to Necrochasm if you have people to do the Quota's End raid, which sadly I don't, because they patched it a little bit to make sure that you really cannot do it by yourself like you used to, which sucks because I never really got the year 1 Quota's End Necrochasm drop. It's quite bullshit, to be honest, but oh well, it is what it is. Now this is a bit bullshit because this is the final round and exposure's on. This is why I said that having the having the Red Death fully upgraded helps, because that that effectively negates exposure. So yeah, 2 Husk of the Pits, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just emphasising that fact here. Make sure you have fully upgraded Red Death, it helps. You don't need it, but it helps. So this is going to take a bit of time to do, but this is the final boss, Gulrot Unclean. This is the guy you've been trying to kill. Probably a reskin of Fogoth from the Summoning Pits strike from year 1. Well, you know, vanilla Destiny, I guess I should say. So remember when I said earlier about my strategy being either being dynamic or being static and camping around and all that? Well, this is the situation where it benefits to be static. Like, don't move whatsoever, just camp. And this is my camping spot that I use. What you'll see is that the quirk in this fight, remember earlier I said about a quirk as well, that Gulrot belches and he covers the room in bile, and for 10 seconds it completely hinders your movement speed to the point where you can barely move, which is why I say that trying to be dynamic isn't going to be for the best, because you could be out in the open, Gulrot does the belch and you're screwed because you're out in the open. The enemies have a nice line of sight and a shot off on you. They'll take it, you'll most likely die. Exposure's on, so if you don't have Red Death, you're not going to get your shields back. So yeah, you just got to be really careful. And so this is pretty much the fight here. I'll try and kill out all the enemies first and then just focus my efforts on Gulrot afterwards. That way the enemies aren't going to be causing you any grief and all that. I would recommend having a sniper for this. As you can see here, but you can just like shoot him in the chest for a critical hit and it just causes essentially an infinite stagger against him up until you have to reload or something, or you run out of ammo. That it would help to have ammo simps as well, but if you don't have them, then don't really worry about it. Juggler's not on, thankfully, so the game will basically just give you some ammo at some point if you're running low. So yeah, as you see, I'm just like trying to pot shot him a little bit, trying to even, you can see I am hitting him even through that tiny little gap in the cover right there. So that's a bit MLG standards if you can really shoot him through that, but just trying to get a precision shot off. Once you can get one off, you can get quite a few, and it does some level of damage as well, so just deal with that, and you know, throw grenades as well just to be sure. But yeah, regular shots probably won't stagger him, so you need to make sure you get those precision shots in. But once Gulrot's health starts reaching a certain level, like 25%, 75% or whatever, or multiples of that, then basically it spawns the next wave of enemies. So it's like Challenge of the Elders, where you get reinforcements when the boss's health depletes by a certain amount. And my critical objective in this case is making sure you take out those worm keepers, which are essentially major wizards. They're gonna mess your shit up, especially if Gulrot does the belch and slows you down. There's nothing stopping them from swoosing right on in and fucking your shit up. So I would say take them out first at your earliest opportunity. Make sure you don't go out in the open and just shoot Gulrot in the chest, his critical hit spot, with a sniper. And when it says Gulrot's stomach gurgles and churns, just get into cover and just pray for the best. And of course with Red Death, then you're going to get your health back, so exposure's not really going to cause you any major problems. There's always something like Devil's Dawn, where if you get a kill, you can get your health back and all that, or at least get some of your health back. But I think Red Death's a hell of a lot better in this case. But you need to have it to begin with, and have it fully upgraded at that. So I'm saying it's helpful to have it, but you don't need it. If you don't have it, it just means you have to play a bit more carefully. So you can't really take as many chances, and your health's probably going to be in the red most of the time. So this is just like an example of how slow you really move. You go really slowly. So that's just the quirk of the arena, is that your movement gets really just inhibited. So that's an example of the shooting him in the chest with the sniper and staggering him for as much as possible. Do the most damage, take the least damage, and just happy days, everyone wins. So I believe this is where they may have respawned some more enemies. What I'm going to have to do, because I've actually decided to unplug my laptop from charge, I'm just going to have to plug it in real quick. So professionalism right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll get back to you once the slowing effect has stopped. If you heard that, that's me plugging in my laptop, because if I on me otherwise, and this whole capture would go to shit. So that's bad. I didn't expect it would go from like 100% charge to in the low that fast. But considering settings I have right now and what I'm doing, it would probably make a lot of sense that that's actually what's happened here. So you haven't missed much. It's just a strategy. It does take a long time because you are by yourself and you are taking out other enemies as well, to ensure that you don't get fucked up and die. So that's really why it takes so long. You just have a big boss to kill with a lot of health, and you only deal so much damage. So you just gotta keep at it until you win. So that's really all you can do. At this point, I think I saw the wizard, so I was like, okay, I need some solar damage now. So I decided to take a little gamble and get some Hazen Vengeance ammo aimed at the bottom of the wizard, and I'm trying to swoosh on in and punch the wizard to basically kill it. And now I kill it. I have to make sure I sync up the audio properly so that actually is like relative to what actually happens right there and then. And that was supposed to be a grenade to hit Gulrot, and I completely fucked it up. So great grenade. Come on everyone, say it with me, that was a great grenade. So yeah, we're in the home stretch at this point. All you gotta do is just keep at it. Don't do what I'm doing here, which is essentially shooting one shot and wasting a special ammo pickup, which is only going to give you one bullet when it could give you a few. Otherwise then you're just going to run out of sniper ammo very quickly, and you're going to use up all your world given, you know, supplies of that ammo. So just decided to use some red death there, get a tiny little bit of health back. Then it's going to give the obligatory message that he's going to cover the room with bile. I saw that worm keeper come out, so I'm like, you're not going to survive this. There's usually 2 that spawn at any set of reinforcements, so it's really about taking them out first, and that other wizard's just not anywhere near where I am right now. I'm trying to figure out where it is. Taking out all the other enemies as well, and it's gonna show up sooner rather than later, and I'm obviously gonna be ready to take it out when that happens. No TV, don't turn off on me. So now it's just a matter of, you know, making sure I get those critical hits off. The wizard's right down there, that's attacking me right now, so I need to be able to take it out. Thankfully it came down the right hand side here, so I'm trying desperately to fire a rocket and it just keeps changing weapons. So that was a dreadful epic fail right there of trying to just fire one rocket off to get a wizard kill. So I think the wizard was on top of me at this point, so I decided to get the hell out of there. Again, with your movement inhibited and all that, you can die really quickly to a wizard just pumping a bunch of arc into you, so that's not good. I tried for that last shot to hit Gulrot at that point, but we should really be in about the home stretch at this point, so I consider trying to shoot Gulrot through that tiny little gap, and even though it looks like you should be able to shoot through, it doesn't quite shoot where the reticule is, so the game's lying a little bit, I guess you can say. But if you're hearing that, that's just my phone going off in the background. But at this point, it's like, yeah, it is dead right now, so just reload, make sure it doesn't hit you, get the critical hit spot down, and you have the boss fight won at that point. So I don't even know if I'll deal with the remaining enemies at this point. It's just like, yeah, one shot left. Oh, he doesn't die. Now we can wait it out and then have the home stretch where we try and kill Gulrot here, beat our arena. And I think at this point the music's like completely stopped. It's like, what the hell's happened? Yeah, it was literally like 2-3 shots away from death at that point. So I saw a little triangle, so I wanted to grab it. Oh, triangular prism, I guess I should say. There's some heavy ammo right there, which I didn't pick up for some reason. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Gulrot Unclean solos at 400 power, the level 34 version. Hopefully you found this guide helpful. At this point I'm just going to show you the rewards that I got. So yeah, that's pretty much all the video basically. The other arena, or other arenas, I'm going to be doing at level 34, except for the Broken Legion Valus one, because I did that level 34 in my old set of captures doing this, which is on my Stream Archives channel, which is linked in the description below, the playlist, if you want to see the other videos I did. So there's that. So Broken Legion done at level 32 this time around. There's always a dead ghost there, so if you've never ever got that, then there's your opportunity to get it. And now you can just go into the crystal barrow and open these chests. And for doing the level 34 version, you just get a weapon core and etheric light, and the reward drops here are random, but you don't see them because my inventory was completely full. And I do the obligatory sit in the black chest, because somehow with Bungie's updates they made all the glimmering chests go black for some reason, which doesn't look very nice, but it is what it is. So at this point I think I'm going to cut to the reef and show you the rewards that I got, and then we'll be rounding the video off here. So yeah, as I said, next arena is going to be the Broken Legion at level 32. The other arenas after that are going to be level 34 up until Gulrot becomes the next level 34 arena. And I think in the meantime as well, I'll actually be doing the Skolas's Revenge arenas, all the possible rotations and modifiers for that. And maybe do like one video where I'll show how to get 2 Skolas. But we got the Shadow of Veil Sniper and the Mark of the Kelslayer Mark. Not really important that you know that I got that, it's useless anyway. So also leveled up with Varix as well, if you saw, with the House of Judgment reputation, so I decided to show you what I get with this as well. But anyway, it is what it is. So yeah, Skolas's Revenge, if I do it, I'll probably do one video where I demonstrate how to get up to Skolas, and then 3 different videos about how to beat Skolas with the different rotations that exist. A little bit of a jump cut there, most of this is just pointless filler to end the video. So what I think I'll do is I'll round the commentary off here by saying thank you for watching, have a great day, and see you later.